Hi everyone, today we are talking about my spring and summer must-have products. These are personal to me, these are the ones that I just cannot do without during those spring and summer months, so we are going to get straight on with it. I am desperate for a haircut at the moment, but I'm sort of toying with the idea of growing it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you are new here, hi, my name's Gemma, I upload new content on YouTube every single week. I would love it if at some point in this video you are finding it helpful or entertaining. Please consider clicking on that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. So I think when this video goes live, the Sephora sale will still be in full swing. A lot of these items, not all of them, but a lot of these items will be featured in the Sephora sale. So if you are thinking of getting any, do check the Sephora sale out. All the links will be in the description box. For those of you in the UK or any other country who maybe either doesn't have a Sephora or, like in the UK, does have a Sephora, but we don't have a sale on at the moment, not that I am bitter or anything, I will try and link the products where I found them to be the least expensive, but also please check out the offer codes because there's always a bargain to be had. So first up, in the summer months, obviously you know what I'm going to say before I even say it, an SPF is compulsory. It's compulsory 365 days a year, but when the sun comes out, it's even more compulsory. Can you be even more compulsory? We're going to roll with it. I have been trying out a lot of new SPFs because I always do a best SPF video every single year for you. I'm also going to pass these SPFs on to my mum. There is a new one that I'm really enjoying at the moment, and the kicker for me that's really sealed the deal is that this is extremely water resistant for a number of hours. So if you do live in a hot, humid country, you're worried about perspiring throughout the day and that perspiration melting off your SPF, then this may be one to try for you. It's from SHISEIDO and it's the Expert Sun Protector Face Cream, Age Defense 50+. Now this may be called something slightly different in lots of different countries. I will try and link the one that I think that it is in your particular part of the world. It's such a nice product. It's a little bit thicker and a little bit heavier than the sunscreens that I usually go for. However, I really like it. I find it quite emollient on my skin. It's great for my dry skin. Doesn't show up my dry skin, make my dry skin even drier. I really like it. So the SPF filters in here are Tinosorb S, which is broad spectrum, and titanium dioxide nano, which is great for UVB protection and also UVA2 protection. This does have a strong fragrance to it, so if you are sensitive to fragrance, you may not like this. I've got to say I did find it quite overpowering at first. It smells very rosy, which is incredibly expensive smelling, but just slightly too much for me. It did dissipate after around about 15 minutes and I was absolutely fine, but I did think this was going to be one of those products that gave me a headache. Luckily, it didn't, but it could do for you, so just be warned if you are sensitive to those rosy smells. Because of the emollient consistency of the formula, it does take a little bit longer to sink into the skin. That isn't a problem for me. I always wait anyway before I apply anything over the top of my SPF, so not a big deal, but if you are in a rush in the morning, this one also may not be for you. It is alcohol free, so if that means a lot to you, this one may be worth giving a go. It just feels really luxurious on the skin. I really like it and it's effective, which is the most important thing. For me, this has also sat really beautifully under makeup. Again, I do leave a good 20 minutes after application before I'm applying any sort of makeup product over the top, but I have used this today and applied my makeup that I'm wearing today over the top of it, and it has applied beautifully, effortlessly, no pilling whatsoever. So yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. It is rather pricey. If you can find it on offer, bonus. And at the moment, it is definitely on offer on Look Fantastic, so it's a steal. Next up, I always like to make sure that my body is well prepped prior to those summer months, so not to scare any of the unsuspecting folk out on the street with my dull, lifeless skin. So it needs to be exfoliated and glowy, just in case the sun decides to poke its way through the clouds enough to warm up the earth here in the UK and make it uncomfortably hot to be fully clothed. In that sense, my body needs to come out, the legs sometimes make an appearance, the arms, sometimes the midriff if it gets overly steamy, which is very, very rare. My body exfoliant of choice is the Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum Body Scrub. I love everything about this. It is quite a pricey product, but it lasts a really long time. You don't need a lot of this. A little goes a long way. Now, this is, for me, recommendation time, only a shower product. I have used this once while I was in the bath, and it was a little bit uncomfortable trying to relax while you're sat on loads of grit. You don't want to do that. If you are going to have a bath and use this product, I would use this just before you get out of the bath. Using it in the shower, it's great to rinse it off and it leaves your skin feeling superb, really silky soft. It's just gorgeous. Now, this is a physical scrub. It's really, really hard in consistency. So another recommendation, I would definitely take a spoon with you in the shower so you can spoon some of this out. It will warm up and soften as soon as it hits your hands, but getting it out of the tub can be quite difficult, especially in the UK when it's quite cold. Have I mentioned that it's quite cold here in the UK in this video already? I'm so sorry. Now again, this is a physical scrub, and I would never use a physical scrub on the skin on my face, but I have no problems using a physical scrub on my body. I just think my body is slightly tougher, can take a little bit more welly of a product, whereas my skin is seriously sensitive on my face. If you're not into a physical body scrub, however, definitely recommend the Ameliorate body cream, which has AHA's, a lovely urea in there to help dissolve the dead skin on the surface, any hard skin, any flaky skin, as well as really nourishing it and locking in that moisture. Put it on just before you go to bed. It's beautiful. It doesn't smell particularly nice, which is why I prefer the Sol de Janeiro, but it definitely does the job in a slightly more gentle way than a physical scrub. Or you could opt for the more affordable route, which I also absolutely adore, and go for the exfoliating mitts. Now, at the moment, I have an orange pair of these downstairs, which I take over to my mother-in-law's because we're having to bath at my mother-in-law's at the moment, but they're past their best, so I thought I would buy some more exfoliating gloves. These ones are from So Eco. I actually haven't tried this particular brand before, so I'm interested in giving it a go. These are great if you're not into a physical scrub, you don't want to be applying an exfoliating cream, and you're wanting something slightly more affordable. These obviously are a physical exfoliator. However, you do have more control over these than you do the scrub. So these may be a better option for you if you're worried about damaging your skin in any way. Now, you all know I'm not into sunbathing in any way. I think about all the negatives of the sun and can't really enjoy the warmth and the relaxation that sunbathing can give a lot of people in the world. And I know so many people enjoy it. It's just not for me. However, I do enjoy having a bit of a tan, which is a catch-22 situation, until fake tans came along, and there are so many amazing ones on the market. You do not need to find one that turns you orange. You will not look like an Oompa Loompa with many that are on the market at the moment, and it won't go patchy. They are so easy to apply. There are still some bad ones out there, and I am going through them for another best self-tan video that's coming up early summertime, and I will also get my mum to try them as well. But last year's favourites, the Top Spot, has now been discontinued. That company has been dissolved. It's unfortunate, but never mind, because the second position one was so up there anyway. It's such a beautiful tan. This is the Skinny Tan Self-Tanning Mousse, and even though I have really fair skin, I go for the dark, and it does not make me look orange. It is the most beautiful, natural looking tan, extremely easy to apply with a mitt or gloves. Definitely don't apply this with bare skin because your hands will go like Oompa Loompa tangerine orange. If I'm in a rush though, this is my saviour and is available pretty much worldwide, I think. If Wes says to me, by the way, we're going out this evening with some friends, I'm like, oh no, this is the one that I go for. So you can apply this for 1 hour for a really beautiful light tan, 2 hours for more of a medium tan, and 3 hours if you want more of a punchy tan. No need to apply this any longer than 3 hours. After 3 hours, it is fully developed. It will last you a long time. This doesn't go patchy on me after a number of days. It's not like I look at it and think, oh gosh, I've got to wash this off immediately. Stunning. Absolutely beautiful. Both of these top-notch self-tans. Again, I am testing out some fake tans in the very near future and will pass them on to my mum to try as well. But the tan on my face always disappears a lot quicker than the tan on my body because I use AHAs, BHAs, and also am a prescription retinoid user, which speeds up cell turnover. So I need a little bit of something extra so I'm not applying a fake tan every single day of the week. A bronzer does it for me, and this is my ultimate favourite bronzer. I love this. It's from Victoria Beckham, and it's the Bronzing Brick. This is in the shade 1. I also have the shade 2 as well because I just couldn't resist. It's beautiful. It blends out effortlessly, and if you do have fair skin and you're worried about a bronzer turning you orange, I would definitely point you in this direction if you can stretch to the amount that this costs. It is quite a pricey product. The packaging is divine. You are paying for the packaging. You need to like it. If you don't like it, you're wasting your money. The product itself, though, is stunning. It is so beginner friendly. You get 2 shades in here. One is more contour, one is more bronzer, and they just blend out so effortlessly, melt into the skin. Again, if you do have fair skin and you're worried about a bronzer being too dark for you, because it's very difficult to get a bronzer for really fair skin, this one, absolutely gorgeous. So I don't wear a lot of makeup every single day of the week, but in the spring and summer months when it gets a little bit warmer, I wear even less. I like to make sure that my skin is covered, but everything that I'm wearing is extremely lightweight and very skin-like. It's because of that I tend to wear more concealer and less foundation in those spring and summer months. I always like to make sure that my imperfections are covered with a great concealer that I know is going to last the test of time, and then I cover the rest of my skin with a really light tinted moisturizer. The concealer that I love, you know I've mentioned this so many times before, but my mind has not changed, so it needs to be mentioned again. This is my holy grail. It's the Lancome All Over Concealer, and it is out of this world. The only thing I would change about this is the level of coverage. Sometimes I have to mix it with something slightly punchier in the pigment department to give me the coverage that I require. However, the consistency and just the entire package is perfect. Perfection. It has a maneuverability in this. It's got a stretchiness to this like spandex. So even underneath the incredibly movable skin under the eye, this does not crease on me because it moves with that movement. It stretches underneath the eye. I am an incredibly expressive, and this doesn't crease. Even if I slightly over apply it over my dark circles, this still does not crease. Now I can wear this with or without powder. I prefer it with powder for that extra little bit of reassurance that this isn't going to move too much throughout the day, but I can definitely get away with it without powder on those days where I want it to be a little bit more dewy underneath the eye, a little bit more reflective. Now this is called all over for a reason. You can apply this all over the skin if you want to. It's an incredibly expensive way of using this product if you are using it as an all over product, but I do like to use it around the corners of my nose where I get a little bit of redness, on the tip of my chin, any imperfections that I have on my skin, as well as underneath my eye and on my eyelid. It's just gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Haven't found anything that beats this yet, although the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer comes very close. Tinted moisturiser time. The YSL new Bare Look tint is unbelievably good. It is so pretty. It seriously is. I didn't think that I was going to like this as much as I do. I was a huge fan of the YSL... What was it called? Hang on. 'Twas the Touche Eclat All-in-One Glow. That's the one that I was trying to figure out. It's been discontinued now and I loved that formula. So when they brought out this formula, which on paper I didn't think I was going to like as much, it surprised me. It seriously did. This is such a lovely formula. Lasts a really long amount of time for a tint. Has a lot more coverage than a tint would suggest. And I absolutely loved it. So I gave it my mum to try and she really loved it as well, which shocked me even more because I didn't think that she would like this as much as she did. Usually tints tend to rub off my mum's chin, nose, and although they did over time, not so quickly. All in all, both of us were impressed, and this has actually taken over from my Laura Mercier tinted moisturiser, which was my holy grail before. This one is now my holy grail now. Now, I do need to make you aware with this particular skin tint, the reason that it lasts a long time for me is probably because it does contain quite a bit of alcohol. And if you wear a tinted moisturiser because you don't like alcohol within your products, this one will definitely be one to miss for you. But I do think it's definitely worth a look. Try and get a sample pot of this. If you aren't sensitive to alcohol, I think if you're anything like me, you'll love it. Next up for summer is an illuminizer. I like to be glowy during the summer, and if you are hearing growling, it is not my stomach, it is Ralph snoring over there. He is the most adorable snorer in the world. I'm not going to wake him up and stop him. We're just going to have to listen to him through the rest of this video. He's very relaxed. The illuminizer that I am loving at the moment, you can use anywhere on the skin, underneath foundation, over the top of foundation. You can use it underneath the eye area to add a little bit more reflection so you don't see your dark circles as much. I personally like to use this on the top of my cheekbones, either mixed in with a tinted moisturizer or over the top of a tinted moisturizer. I just think it is the most stunning product. Again, slightly on the pricey end, but this is going to last for such a long time because you need very little. It's from By Terry and it is the Brightening CC Luminizer. This has optical glow technology, light reflecting prisms and soft focus pigments to not only smooth but also blur out your imperfections, which is definitely something that I need. I have this on the tops of my cheekbones and it is so subtle. When the light catches it, you just see a little bit of a glimmer. It's like that glass skin look without being sparkly. So you can go into full on sun with this and I don't think it looks sparkly one bit, but I do think it looks glowy and really radiant on the skin. Extremely flattering and I adore it. I really do. Just like a lot of the By Terry products, it does come with a brush on the end and a clicker on the bottom, so you would just click up the clicker, if that makes sense, and the product dispenses into the brush. I prefer to dispense the product onto the back of my hand as usual rather than applying it to the skin with the brush, just for, you know, cleanliness purposes. I'm only using it on myself, but still sometimes it can get a little bit gunky, and then use my finger to apply it to wherever I want it. Obviously, if you are applying it all over the skin, then you're going to need to dispense quite a bit of product, but I don't use it that way, so it's going to last me forever. Now, I do think that the mechanism in the push up system does need a little bit of work on this product. Sometimes nothing comes out at all, and then all of a sudden lots comes out at once for me. I may have a faulty one. The actual formula and the wearability of this, the subtlety of the formula when it hits the skin is worth it for me. I just wish it was in a slightly different packaging. This also comes in a blush as well. I think there are a couple of shades, but I think it would be a little bit too glowy for me on the cheek. Can you get too glowy on the cheek? I may try it, but the luminizer for me is the one to get. Next spring and summer must-have that I need to mention, it's a lip balm. It's gotta be a lip balm. My lips in spring and summer get incredibly dry, and it's completely my fault. So in autumn and winter, my lips get dry because of the climate. Spring and summer, as soon as it starts getting slightly warmer, I constantly lick my lips. I don't think I even realise that I'm doing it, but that in itself draws moisture from the lips, makes my lips quite chapped, dry, just dehydrated, and I need to cover them over to stop myself from doing it. Maybe also having a really nice flavoured lip balm doesn't help things. Now, of course, you can get lip balms in lots of different forms, whether that be a bullet lip balm, whether that be a squeezy tube lip balm, whether that be a really shiny, more lip gloss lip balm. You can also get them in lots of different price points. They don't need to cost the earth. This one is more of a mid-ranged product. It's from KOSAS, and it's the Plump and Juicy Collagen Lip Boost. It is such a lovely, lovely product, and it's got like a sherbety flavour. It's really, really nice. It's quite thick, but it's not sticky. And I love that about this product. So the reason I like it thick is because it's difficult to lick off. And for me, that is really, really important. But it's not sticky, so you're not going to feel uncomfortable when you have this on. It's an incredibly comfortable product to wear and to use constantly throughout the day. And because of its thick consistency, it doesn't wear off incredibly quickly. Although if you are going to eat or drink anything, this is going to transfer onto whatever you're eating or drinking. But if you're not going to eat or drink anything, this is going to last you a really, really long time. And you get quite a lot of product within the tube. So again, unless you're applying it every 5 minutes, this is also going to last you for at least a full summer. So if I just wanted to wear a glossy lip throughout the day, I would just plump for a lip gloss. This does so much more, as well as glossing up the surface of the lip and making my lips look a little bit plumper. This one does the nourishing. It also does the hydrating, and as well as doing that, it will lock in that hydration so you don't lose that hydration throughout the day. You can also use this in the evening as well, so it's not just a day product, although I think if this hit the surface of my pillow, it would come off. So I probably wouldn't use this in the evening, but for a day product, it is superb. Moving on to the penultimate must-have product for spring and summer. Obviously, this is all my opinion based. Everybody's must-haves are going to be different for spring and summer, but this is my list. I get so many DMs from people asking me how to make their blush last all day, and usually you're trying to use the wrong blush for the wrong situation or the wrong climate or the wrong skin type. This next blush is a blush that will last all day regardless of what situation you are in. Whether you are having a really busy day, whether you're at the gym, whether you're just sat on the sofa watching TV all day, whether you're in a cold climate, a hot dry climate, a hot humid climate, whether you have dry skin, whether you have oily skin, this is the blush that just, it lasts all day for me. This is the one that I take on holiday with me every single year without fail because it's superb and I know I don't have to worry about it drifting off my cheeks, rubbing off on my clothes. It's just superb. It's absolutely amazing. This is from NARS and it's the Air Matte blush. This one is in the shade Rush. It is heavily used. It is heavily loved. I adore this. I just think it is out of this world. I used to have to dig my finger in to get some of this out, warm it up on the back of my hand before applying it to the cheek. I've now found a brush that fits perfectly into this, so I no longer have to do that. Just tap it in a couple of times and then apply it directly to the cheeks. A little bit of a recommendation for you, what I would do if you do have this brush, and it's the Refa 17 brush. Obviously you can use any brush that you like. Every single brush will work the same. It's just this one fits beautifully inside the tub. Tap it in a couple of times, dot it on one cheek, and then go to the opposite cheek, work it into that, and then go back to the cheek that you started off with. That way you'll get a really nice blend and you'll also get an even coverage. Love it. And this is the shade that is my favorite, Rush. It just makes you look so beautiful. And although it does say that it is a matte product, you can get radiance from within with this. Your natural oils will still come through. You will still be a little bit glowy. And yeah, I just love it. It's so flattering on everyone that I've applied it to in the past. Gorgeous. And finally, if you were a little bit unsure whether your makeup was going to last all day through the spring and the summer, especially if you're wearing those really lightweight products that don't have as long a lifespan like a tinted moisturizer, you're going to want to use a setting spray. Now, if you're anything like me, you dread putting all this love into your makeup and then applying a setting spray and your makeup just completely changes. It's for that reason that I like to use a translucent setting spray. A setting spray to make sure that my makeup looks the same after setting spray as it did before setting spray. Now, that's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Some people like to make their makeup look dewier or slightly more matte using different setting sprays, but for me personally, I'd rather it look the same, especially if I've put that much effort into it. So this is my favourite. I just think it is out of this world and it does the job. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Pure Setting Spray 16 Hour. It's so great. It doesn't have any alcohol within the formula, so I'm not quite sure how it makes my makeup last such a long time. Although this is a hydrating formula, it does leave a film on the surface of the skin, which as it dries down, tightens slightly. So you do get that tight feeling, which does disappear after a little while, but you can feel it tightening on the skin as it's drying. I did a little bit of an experiment with this a couple of months ago and didn't film it, and I'm not quite sure why. Shame on me. Anyway, I covered over half of my face with a blank A4 piece of paper and I sprayed the setting spray on the other half of my skin. And then I went about my day with a full face of makeup on, and I think it may have been 10 hours later. It might have actually been 12 hours later. I looked at my skin and the side that had the setting spray on still looked fresh and beautiful, and the other side, although my makeup was still there, not so much. I mean, it looked a little tired, shall we say. So I was a little bit skeptical how this worked and why this worked. I wasn't sure whether this would work, but it definitely does. I've no idea still how it works, but it definitely does. Definitely does. It's just great. Great. So that's it for this video. They are all of my spring and summer must-have products, tried and tested by me. I love every single one of them. They are phenomenally good. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Do let me know what you thought about it in the comment section. I will also list every single one of the products that I've spoken about in this video in the description box for you, just in case you want to check those out. If you do click on any of the links in the description box, they are affiliate links, which means that if you do click on them and then decide to go shopping, I will earn a small amount of commission, which just helps my channel ticking over. If you do use the links regularly, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Hope you're all well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.